Hey Paisanos, what's going on? It's Kenzen Crese here, and you can see on the back monitor in the background that we are talking about Subdivision Infinity DX, and yes, I said it right the first time. I've been having trouble not saying Infinity, or Disney Infinity, or Division Infinity, or something like that, so I'm very happy I said it the first time. But this game is out on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch, I believe. And I played it completely through on PC. All the videos are up by the time this video goes live. I wanted to make sure the entire game goes live on the channel as part of my game preview series, and you guys get to see it before you get to hear my thoughts about it. With that being said, there's a couple things I'm going to talk about. First, the game looks amazing, sounds amazing, and handles amazing. Those are all one category we'll get into here in a minute. Next is gameplay. How do the weapons, the ships, and all that affect the game? And then finally, what is my overall thoughts on it? Do I feel like this is a good port? I want to say it was a mobile game because I think that's what I saw before. You know what? We'll find out real fast. Because if it is, we'll find it in this app store. And yes, it is a mobile game, which you guys can't really see. So they ported a mobile game over to PC and to the consoles, and it's probably one of the best ones I have played in recent years, actually, because I've been looking for a good space game, and that's a flight game, and this one does it. Now, the first thing I will warn you is the controls are a little different from your standard flight game, because they incorporate going up, down, side to side, and your normal flight controls like that. All in here with the rolling. Yeah, I'm doing it with my hands so you know what I'm doing, so, okay? But all that is combined and used. I just realized my Xbox is still on. So the left stick, right, yeah, is your strafing. So it's strafing left to right, up and down. Right stick is your turning, and you're flying up and down, turning left and right. Your D-pad is your rotation for the left and right. That is a very important thing to know. The game makes you feel like you're in space. They have a very, very excellent score with the music. I normally don't talk about scores and like music and graphics because I like different different styles of both depending on the game I'm playing. Prime example, I'm playing X-Men. Oh crap, I already forgot what the name was. Man. It's the one for 360 and PS3 where you get to choose between 3 heroes, and it looks dated, but it plays fine. And a lot of people hate it because the way it plays and the way it looks and sounds and all this other jazz. That's why I don't normally bring up that stuff, but I have to bring it up in this because the aesthetics and the sound fit the style of the game perfectly. The graphics are very clean, crisp, 3D models, and then the sound makes you feel like you're all alone in space, which is amazing. And then once you get in the battles, it just starts pumping, like getting you excited for the battles. The next thing I want to bring up, though, is the way you progress through the story. I had no real problems with the game until I couldn't upgrade my ship or having to use money to upgrade my weapons. Those are the hardest things to do, but they're easy at the same time. So the first 3 ships I used, straightforward. I beat chapter 1, got blueprints, all but one for the next ship, beat the first mission in the second chapter, got the blueprints for the second ship, got it, upgraded it, and moved along. And I used the same weapon, which is a hard ammo machine gun or it fires like a machine gun if you hold it down, but it also spreads out a lot too. So it's like a machine gun. And I use that weapon all the way through until chapter 4, when I'm like, okay, these aren't doing enough damage. Yes, I had trouble in chapter 3, but I was still able to get past it. In chapter 4, I couldn't get past it. So during that process, I was trying to get all the blueprints for the third ship, and I couldn't find them. because one of them is, first I thought it was a bug or some kind where, it went into the mesh of the asteroid, it got stuck there, blah blah blah. It wasn't that. It was fantastic game design, because it's something that I didn't even think of. Well, and that is, there's a hidden entrance to the interior of this one asteroid in the second chapter, Exploration 1, right underneath an entrance to the, or right underneath the main entrance to the asteroid. There's a secondary entrance that is like straight down underneath it, and it's an orange color. And I'm not the only one that has trouble with that, but I purposely played through that area, spent multiple hours on that trying to find it. And when I finally emailed them to clarify, hey, is this supposed to be that hard to find? And they're like, it's a more challenging one to find because everything else beforehand was easy, and everything after that with collecting for the ships was easy. So, and there's only one ship I did not unlock the blueprints for in this review. I just want to state that because I didn't do the last two explorations. But everything before the last two I did completely, finished it all up, and it was amazing how they did that challenge for that one ship. Other thing to note is each of your ships can upgrade once, at least for the ones that you find the blueprints for, because those are the ones that I went through and used, because their stats are better than the ones you have to pay money for. The weapon wise, so with the machine guns, they work wonderfully against normal fighters, because when you start, you have fighters that have no shields, then you go to fighters with shields, then you go to fighters with shields and lasers, and that was fine to get through. But after a certain point, you get what they call battleships. To me, they look like troop transports, so that's what I call them during my playthroughs. I'm like, the transports are here, let's take them out. Those got extremely hard to take out. Why? Because they had a lot of shielding and a lot of hull, and they dealt a crap ton of damage to you. So by the time I hit chapter 4, I had fighters with shields, fighters with lasers, and fighters with missiles, plus troop transports within the first couple missions. And I couldn't get past that, because I was like, what's going on? These weapons are fully upgraded. Well, they're fully upgraded, but they're early game weapons. So you have to remember to upgrade your weapons fully. I switched to 2 other weapons, and one was a energy-based machine gun, and then the other one was a Gauss rifle type weapon, where I tried mixing them up, where I used the machine gun for the energy and the Gauss weapon, but the machine gun used too much energy, and there's no separate button to fire each individual weapon. So you have to have stuff that cools down together and is easier to recharge if you're using energy weapons, at least in my opinion. With that, the Gauss weapons, you fire on both at once, and they almost instantly kill a fighter. When you're dealing with the transports, they knock the shields down really fast and are really good. But they are bad for your aiming at mines. And that's the other thing, is each enemy gets new aspects of it as you get further in the game. So I mentioned the fighters got shields, lasers, and missiles. The missiles on the earlier ships can almost one-shot you. They completely take out my shields and they knock my systems out for a minute, so I can't target anything. In the later ships, it takes about a fourth of your shield out, and you can take a couple hits. But with those lasers, the Gauss weapons, not very good at hitting the missiles. So you gotta okay, this level has the missile fighters in it, and it has the troop transports that dump out mines. So I need a weapon that can handle both of those and be strong enough. Luckily, if you grind enough and do the explorations and complete them fully, you will get it leveled up high enough to get the best weapon in the game, which is like a missile launcher plus minigun kind of thing. I don't know really how to explain it, but I'll have a clip on one side of me here where it's from the last level, and oh my god, is that weapon amazing. It shoots a bunch of little things off, and as long as you're locked on, they track and hit the target, and each one does damage. So you just see the life or the shield bar go down, and the health bar or the whole bar go just down really fast, and it's one of the best weapons I use in that game, and I thought it was going to be bad. So each little increment in the game does benefit you, so make sure you upgrade all the way through. And I ended up finishing the game with the Tornado X, which is the 4th, I think, ship with the blueprints. There's one more after that, which again is the last 2 exploration missions that I didn't do. And the reason I didn't do them because it was better, but it wasn't better enough for me to grind for it, if that makes sense. Now, it is noted that the final level I thought would have more chaos in it, I guess you would say. But you're fighting 2 big troop transports that shoot out the mines out the butt when they get hurt so bad. And it was not a letdown, but kind of a letdown. I was thinking 2 battleships, a group of squadrons, and maybe you and your allies and their battleship. That I was thinking, but then I realized, like, wait, well, hold on. This was a mobile game, so that would have killed your phone, and it makes sense why it's like this. So it doesn't affect the way I think of the game. I just had to remember, it's not fully a PC and console game, but it's not fully not currently, because it looks and handles amazing, sounds amazing, and I believe it's rather cheap too. I can't look at the price up on Steam, otherwise I would tell you, because it says it's already in my library. So, but I do highly recommend this game, Subdivision Infinity DX, and it is out on all major systems. If you have played the game Freelancer, Starlancer, it reminds me of that game. And I played both of those actually back in the Dreamcast day. I think Starlancer was the one on Dreamcast, and I think I had Freelancer on PC. Don't quote me on that because it's been a while since I played them, but that's what made me like this game as much. And if you like those style of games, pick it up and play it. The controls are what's the hardest thing to get used to, and I've had a couple people tell me they don't like the game because of the controls. But I think the controls work fine, just because you're in a 3D area and you're not just flying like an airplane, You have to think about, alright, I can fly up and down normally and turning, but I also need to do that while strafing, so you're going up but you're also backing up and then drifting your plane around. And you can easily turn your plane around, or your spaceship around, and shoot at whatever's behind you. And you do have a control for forward and reverse thrust, which makes it easy to do these complicated maneuvers. The only hard part to do is rotating your ship while you're doing those maneuvers, because you're holding, I'll grab the controller again to show you, but you're holding your thing like this, and then that's your rotate, so you're doing your maneuver like so. You're drifting and you're going up, but then you gotta let go of the drift and do the rotate real quick and bring it back. That's the hardest part about that, but once you get used to it, it just feels second nature, and it's easy to pick up because it feels like you're playing a first-person shooter, really. The only difference is you're not moving forward with your left stick on forward and back, with the stick on back. It's up and down. And once you get used to that, the game flies and feels so smooth. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you're a fan of those style of games, go check it out. If you like what you saw here and you want to help support the channel, hit the thumbs up, hit the share button, share this video with hashtag Subdivision Infinity DX. It'll be right here maybe, or right here, somewhere on the screen. I'll put it on there, but and check out the links, because if you want to join the Discord channel and maybe even get into some monthly community streams, that's all within the Patreon links down below. Have a wonderful day, and peace out, everybody.